Hello, welcome into the Sarcastic Remark Studios. My name is Ryan Chambers, and here in a joined alongside Chris and James. We are the official Dallas Stars podcast of the Hockey Podcast Network. We are currently kind of looking into the preseason game right now between the Stars and the Avalanche. We'll keep you updated as we go through this episode. But we want to thank our sponsor, DraftKings Sportsbook, for being the sponsor of this episode, this podcast, and of THPN. We thank them very much for being our sponsor. Let's go ahead and bring in Chris and James. Hey guys, how's it going?
Hey, I didn't see y'all at all a few minutes ago. Oh, James is gone.
James has disappeared, I guess. I don't know. He'll be back in a second. But before we get into it, Chris, you got to say something, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I don't have a girlfriend anymore. Oh, James is back. That's cool. Hey, James, I don't have a girlfriend anymore because now she's my fiance. Ha!
Woo-hoo!
Get wrecked.
Chris is newly engaged. That's awesome.
Yeah. I have a relationship that's like kind of adult now. It's weird. like I could take her to the doctor's office and be like, "Oh, I'm here with my fiance." And be like, "Ah, yes, distinguished gentleman." But like if you say, "Oh, here's my girlfriend," you'd be like, "Man, this guy's weird."
What a loser. What a loser.
But no, I'm not a loser.
For 3
I'm a
years
distinguished gentleman.
Well, you got to tell us how you did it and where you went and all that sort of stuff. How'd you do it?
All right, let's just turn this into a girl talk podcast. All right.
You gotta throw the deets out there at the very least.
I took my man James. I made James come down here. James out here with his little clicky clicks. He does those picture things. He's real good at them. We gotta shout that out. So he got the pictures of it. We went to Pedernales Falls out to west Austin. Lots of pretty big rocks and river, stream, water thingy. And boom, did it right there. On the spot. It was great. And James got amazing pictures. Go see the best picture on Twitter.
Oh, thanks. And I did retweet it on the podcast feed. So if you want to go look on the podcast feed as well, it's there on Sarcastic Remarks Twitter as well. So anyways, guys, we got a lot to talk about here though. Oh wait, no, James. I forgot James too. James, it's your 1 year anniversary with your girlfriend too, right?
Yeah, that just kind of worked out that way. I thought it was kind of weird, but
that's nice. Brody.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm happy for both of you guys, and it only gets worse, Chris. Only gets worse.
I mean,
that's what he's hoping on.
This is what my boss used to say. Excuse me.
Don't
Rule number 1 is. Yeah, right. Nah, it's just because I'm eating some hot tamales. That's all. But rule number 1 he used to say was don't get married, and if you break rule number 1, then don't break rule number 2. Rule number 2 is don't have kids, and I've broken both of those rules so far. So,
yeah.
But good luck to you, Chris.
I'm gonna hold off on rule number 2 for quite a while, I think. So,
good.
Should be good.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of Stars news, a little bit of around the NHL news, and whatever kind of pops up as we talk tonight. But I don't want to get there just yet. But let's just go ahead and just get into some of the general NHL news right now. First things first is I want to talk about was did y'all see Seattle's new mascot?
Oh, I did.
Okay, so opinions on it, because it's kind of mostly like some people think that this thing is like super creepy, and others are like, okay, this is like a really cool mascot. Where are you at?
I mean, the hair is pretty great as someone with the same exact hair.
Of course, you would think that, yeah.
But yeah, they got an emo troll, so that's kind of interesting. It's literally like the metal trolls from that troll movie where they go around
the world tour movie.
World. Yeah. It's the rock metal troll. That's who it is.
And they sing about their feelings.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't just go with the obvious. Hey, we're the Kraken, and our mascot is a Kraken. But okay,
right? Like they could have done like they could have done like Cthulhu or something cool like that, but. No, let's make our mascot. Let's make our mascot after some random sculpture underneath a bridge in Seattle. That's where they got their inspiration from, by the way. I don't even know like what the name of the sculpture is. I just know that that's where they got the idea from for it to be a troll. There's some sculpture of a troll underneath a bridge in Seattle.
It sounds very Seattle. I will say one thing. I like what they're trying to do with this hockey team, with like the salmon that they throw after the game too. They're trying to add cool, unique traditions for their fan bases. That's what you gotta try and do. I don't know if any of them is really stuck yet as being cool, because even the salmon is kind of cringy, but you gotta start some cool stuff like that happening. So I'm glad that they're actively trying to do that, trying to create a community.
Well, not to call out my Nashville peeps, but I mean, it could be worse. It could be catfish, right? It could be much worse.
Yeah. Well, like something like that happening naturally, just tossing salmon on the ice before playoff games, that would be cool. I'd be down with that.
They just released their mascot like a couple days ago, and it was like all over Twitter, and I thought it was weird. And by the way, the name of the mascot is Buoy. Like they could have gone with any other name, but
Buoy makes sense. They got
Buoy
buoys out there.
Buoy the sea troll. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's weird. I think it's something that I would see in my nightmares as I go to sleep, but that's just what I think.
Yeah.
Wasn't the last mascot that was added was Gritty, so can't be any scarier than
that. No, I think this one's creepier, honestly. I think it's creepier than Gritty.
I thought it was creepier at first, but it's kind of grown on me. I can kind of see.
Oh, like James, just move to Seattle already.
Now that I think about it, Troll's kind of hot.
Okay, next segment. Wait, did you do that on purpose to end that part?
Yeah.
That was pretty smart. Okay,
pretty
this one's kind of a sad one, but I had to announce this one because I felt really bad. The Philadelphia Flyers released Antoine Roussel from his professional tryout, so he did not receive a contract from the Philadelphia Flyers. And the only thing I could think of is, how Antoine Roussel is feeling, because like he's so bad, he's not even good enough for the Philadelphia Flyers to be on their team. So I was like,
maybe he was too good.
Yeah, he was too good, overqualified. That's what
he was overqualified for that roster. That's what we're going with.
Well, I really thought he would have been a good fit for that team, considering where they're at, and they've got John Tortorella, and I think he would do really well in a Tortorella system. But do you see him, maybe getting a job somewhere else in the NHL, or do you think he has to maybe do AHL or go overseas?
He'll go play in Europe.
You think so?
That's most likely what's going to happen.
And that's unfortunate. He was a fan favorite of the Stars for the longest time, so I just felt obligated to mention that. This is kind of a big one for the Ottawa Senators. The Ottawa Senators have arguably had the best offseason of any team. They've signed Claude Giroux in free agency. They traded for Alex DeBrincat. It looks like they may be getting out and getting Jacob Chikrin from Arizona, possibly. And then they also traded for Cam Talbot as well to bolster their goaltending. But Cam Talbot is actually going to be out 5 to 7 weeks to start the season. So they picked up a guy off of waivers. I can't remember his name. I think it's Holberg, I think is his name. And right now it kind of looks like their chances are kind of hurt for making the playoffs. I think they could make the playoffs. I really do. What do y'all think about the Ottawa Senators possibly making the playoffs?
I think it's kind of like same thing with Columbus. It'll come down to how those players actually play together. If Claude Giroux can be a top tier forward like we know he has been, if he can do that still in Ottawa, then I think they'll sneak in. But I don't think it's going to be like top 3 in their division. I think it's going to be a wild card thing if they do it.
Yeah, I agree with that too. What do you think, James?
I think they're still, before they were sitting out of the bubble and now they're in the bubble. So they can make the playoffs, but it's not guaranteed. That's for sure.
So I was just curious, just looking at their division. Their division is crazy. It's very similar to the Central. Like in the Central, there's I think 6 of the 8 teams could possibly make the playoffs. And then in the Atlantic, in the division they've got Tampa, Florida, Toronto, and Boston as well. So, I mean, all 4 of those teams are pretty good. Ottawa is looking to make that step, but also Detroit is looking to make that step as well. So Detroit, I mean, they went out and signed a lot of key players this offseason, and it looks like they may finally be ready to take that next step. I don't know if it's
Detroit.
playoffs yet for those Red Wings, but still, that's going to be a hard division to make the playoffs in.
Yeah, at the very minimum, Detroit's looking to be competitive this year. They want to be in every game.
Do you think Cam Talbot being hurt really hurts their chances of making the playoffs to start without him starting the season?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, the Ottawa's team is a little younger, right? So like, there's a very good chance with a team that young that they just need some momentum somewhere in the season where they can go on a very big winning streak and get all their points from there, and that just carry them into the playoffs. So like, I don't think it hurts them as much as it would hurt like Nashville when they lost their goaltender. They lost their goaltender. They can't even compete anymore. So
right.
I think
huge.
Yeah, I think it's not as big as it would be for some other teams, but it definitely still hurts.
Not as big as Vegas.
That's another good point. That's a very good point. The only reason why I mentioned that is because if we look at the recent past, in order to make the playoffs, most of the time, if you're above the playoff line in December, you make the playoffs when the season's over, typically. So, and I mean, we've seen that with the Stars numerous times. And I think the key to getting into the playoffs is having a strong start. You don't even have to be like 10-1 to start the season, but 7-5 or 8-4 or something like that.
In the Stars case, just over 500, please.
Yeah.
The whole first half of the season, we were just trying to claw back up to 500. It was so annoying.
Now, NHL 500 or real 500?
No, NHL 500. We weren't close to real 500. We were
we were nowhere close.
It's real 500.
How many overtime losses did we end with 2 years ago? Was it 16?
It was 16 or 17.
Oh my!
It was a lot.
That
was too
ridiculous. Many. Okay, we're over it. We're not going back. Okay. Don't say that, James. Knocking on wood right now. Okay, a couple other news around the NHL this past week. Just yesterday, Matthew Barzell signs an 8-year extension with the New York Islanders, worth $9.15 million per season. Now, we'll get into
yeah, right.
We'll get into that in a little bit about how it affects the Stars, because it could, but I don't think it does. But what do y'all think about this contract? Is it an overpayment, about right? Is it an underpayment? What do y'all think?
If the cap goes up, it's fine.
Yeah. And I guess New York is not expecting to be super great in the recent, so they're trying to gamble on a long term, and so in the future it's a good deal. But right now it's an overpayment.
The way that I've looked at it is if you look at his stats have been pretty good, even considering he played for a Barry Trotz team, which is very similar to a Rick Bowness team. And the fact that they don't get a lot of goals and they just rely heavily on defense. But with a new coach that they have with, I can't remember his name. I think it's Lambert, something like that. I think you could see his offensive numbers go up. So I think they're kind of making a bet that he's going to be worth that $9 million kind of player. But I just, right now it looks like an overpayment, because I think he had 17 goals last year, and that was it.
But like we're saying, if the cap goes up by $10 million in the next 4 years, in year 5, it's going to look great. So
yeah, that's going to be no big deal. Okay, this was the biggest one out of the NHL news that I wanted to talk about, because it's been kind of a hot topic because a lot of people have very strong opinions about it. The NHL is going to be getting new ads this year on the boards, and it looks like they're going to go completely digital with their boards. What are y'all's thoughts on this? Because I have two different schools of thoughts for me.
The way I understood it was that was just for nationally televised games.
See, I didn't look into it enough. That I don't.
It
know,
wasn't
to be
like
honest
they
with you.
were putting video boards on the boards. It was like they were computer generating the ads onto the boards after the fact, like the ads on the top of the glass behind the
On the
goal.
glass. Okay.
Yeah, it's like that. It's not like they're putting video boards all the way around. But so the players won't see the boards moving, if that's one of the qualms. But I think it's fine. I think it's going to be harder for teams individually to get advertisers like that, because you have to tell them, hey, your boards aren't going to be on when it's nationally televised. And they'll be like, bro, what the heck? So that would be frustrating. Also, the snippet that I saw of the boards moving, it was way too much happening on the boards, like while the play was going on. And that was just super distracting. So if they are like dynamic while the play is going on, I'm hoping it's not super fast like that. Like, it needs to be slow movements so that we are not too distracted with our monkey brains.
What do you think, James?
Yeah, I don't like the idea of the boards like changing while the play is going on. If it's like, if they could find a way where if you like pan the camera one side and then you pan back to the other side and then now that side switched to a different one, that would be so much better. But it's just trying to figure out how that all works is going to be difficult.
Yeah, I'm right with you guys. It's just like, I know a lot of people probably won't like it, and the fact that it's getting more, advertisement and stuff like that. It's getting more businessy. But the thing is that if the NHL is making more money and they're fighting more revenue streams, the cap goes up. It's better for everybody, right? Everybody makes more money. That's the way I look at it. I agree with you, Chris, on the fact that if it is changing in the middle of the play, I will be hacked off. That will be super distracting, and that's really all I had thought wise about all of that.
If we're gonna bring up advertisements, we should bring up the jerseys again, because that's happening this year now.
Yep, that's not
just
a bad
like
idea.
I said was going to happen. People are selling jerseys that do have the advertisements on them. So Ryan telling me 2 years ago, "Oh, that'll never happen. They'll never put the ads on the jerseys that they sell." Well, it's freaking happening. So
here's the thing, though. It's not an NHL mandated thing. They're leaving it up to the clubs. They're leaving it up to the teams to decide whether to put the ads on the jerseys or not. So, like, I can't tell you who is and who isn't right now, but there are some teams that are selling jerseys with the ads on them and without the ads on them. So, like, they're selling them,
getting ads at all.
Yeah, exactly, right. So, I hope for the Stars that, and I don't even think they have a jersey ad partner right now, do they?
I haven't seen one.
The only ones I've seen is, I know that they're doing one for like their practice jerseys, right?
That's
if I
fine.
remember correctly.
I don't practice jerseys.
Yeah, I don't care about the practice jerseys, but hopefully that continues to stay that way. So.
I just don't want to see a big orange Voya logo on our nice victory green jerseys. Exactly, Ryan. Like, come on.
Every time you see the jersey, you just hear that in the back of your head.
I can't remember who it was. I thought it was the Canes had a blue logo on their shoulders. I might be talking out of my butt completely there. But I feel like there's at least one team that has a logo that is a completely different color than their color scheme, and it's just right on the front of their shoulder. And it looks ridiculous. At least in the NBA, logos are like white and not overtly terrible to the eyes.
Right, they match the jersey. Right.
Yeah.
Right, they match the color scheme of the jersey, which, a lot of advertisers probably wouldn't want. They want their own color scheme being seen and everything. But whatever. The one that I thought was really funny is the Toronto Maple Leafs. You know what the Toronto Maple Leafs jersey sponsor is? James already knows. Chris, Chris, do you know?
I don't remember, but I do.
I told you, Chris.
Let's get him to guess it. Chris, do you remember? Then don't look it up. Don't Google it. Don't cheat. Okay, we'll give you 2 guesses, and then we'll just give it to you if you can remember. It's something really, really ridiculous.
Was something about milk?
Yeah, you already got it. Good.
Yes, milk.
It just says milk, doesn't it?
It's like it's supposed to be like Dairy Farmers of Ontario or something like that, and
but it just says milk.
Yeah, I think it just says milk on it or something like that. I need to actually look up the jersey. I think it's hilarious, but I don't know. I mean, if you make money, whatever, right? I mean,
No,
heck,
not whatever. Crap like that is so stupid. That's idiotic.
That's hilarious.
It's
I love it.
hilarious.
That's not.
It's well,
That's
it's
stupid.
hilarious because it's not the Stars, and it's like
Yes.
the NHL's like premier
If the Stars
franchise.
had milk on their jerseys, I'm never buying a Stars jersey ever again.
Right.
Like-
That's like the Cowboys going out and like putting like milk on their jerseys.
It just says milk.
Oh, and it just says milk on it.
Just
I need to look up a picture before we move on and show
Oh my
everybody on
goodness.
YouTube.
Put it on
It's-
Twitter.
Hold on.
It's
Check
so
out our Twitter
funny.
for the milk picture.
Oh
Uh,
goodness.
But yeah, I don't want it to be Europe. Let's get into Star stuff. I'm bored.
You're bored? Okay.
We have
Oh,
news
Chris is
today.
bored.
It's about the topic that we don't want to talk about, but that is starting to
Yay.
get real. I'll start talking about it. The people
get to
on
talk
Twitter
about it.
started saying, "Hey, the Stars are going to do something today." Oh, here's the milk.
Let's see if I can get into it. See, look at
There
that.
you
Like
go.
really.
It says milk.
It literally just says milk on
I was
it.
really
No,
hoping
it's-
it was in like big block letters, but
Okay.
But no, that's literally it. Okay, sorry, I'm
Milk.
done.
Okay, we're
Go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
all right. So people said some stuff on Twitter. Some insiders were like, "Hey, Stars going to do something today. Watch out!" And then nothing happened. That's
shock.
Well, no, hold on. First, you got to start. You got to start back
Do
a
the
couple days
timeline,
ago.
Ryan. Hit us with the timeline.
First off, 32 thoughts of the podcast. Elliot Friedman comes out with Jeff Merrick, and he says he thinks something's going to get done this week. That was his words. He thinks that something's going to get done this week, and I guess this week is still this week, but it's getting really close to the end of this week. So then, fast forward a couple days, aka today, and Kevin Weeks just decides to throw Stars Twitter in a flame, and he tweets out this thing. I gotta find it real quick. It was like really vague. It was just like keep an eye out on the Dallas Stars, and that's it. Like that's all
Yeah.
he said.
What
And-
kind of chaotic energy is that? That's
I
ridiculous.
know. I was
He
like,
hates us.
That should be illegal to post on Twitter.
right. I
If this
literally
was
put.
Reddit. It would have been downvoted to oblivion.
But like I literally put on Twitter a couple hours ago, I put a gif of Anakin Skywalker screaming at Obi-Wan saying I hate you, and saying this is Stars fans to Kevin Weeks right now because nothing has happened. I really expected something to happen today, whether it's like a trade to open up some cap space or Robertson gets signed or something. And I guess we still have an hour and 20 minutes left in the day, but still, I'm like, I really honestly thought that something was going to happen today and nothing did. So, I mean, what do you think he's referring to? Do you really think it's in reference to Robertson signing? Is it a trade? Is it both? What do y'all think?
Trade rumors have been going crazy with Robertson. Everyone's saying we do not have the cap space and that we don't want to sign him for that much. And they're saying we're dealing Robertson, is what a lot of them are saying, which is, I wouldn't have believed that even 2 weeks ago. And
Right.
now it seems like it's like a full realistic possibility, which seems crazy.
Well, the thing that kind of worried me was the one that I retweeted earlier today. It was from Darren Drager. See if I can find it real quick. It's on here somewhere. Okay, so this is what Darren Drager said. He said this about 10 o'clock this morning, Central Time. Ongoing discussions between the Stars and Jason Robertson seems like a major shift is going to have to occur for Robertson to start the season in Dallas. Still time to get something done. Major shift. What does that sound like?
That
sounds like a
lot of
trade.
players are going to have to leave.
Right. That sounds 100% like a freaking trade there. Who gets traded?
Everyone. Everyone
Yeah.
for Robertson.
Everyone's gone. Robertson will play forward, defense, and goaltender.
Let's do it. I think the biggest problem with Robertson right now is that we're not going to find any other player who is going to play as good as he is for what we need, for what we have the cap space for. Like it's just not going to happen.
And I don't even know if you could get like a multiplayer deal for him because we don't have the cap space for multiple players.
We don't.
Like,
That's the worst part.
So I really don't know what you could possibly do if you're not signing Robertson. And if you're moving people, then we have to make a trade with a nobody and probably give up another first round and maybe more. So, and it would probably be Fox and Dobby are the people that we move. So, whatever happens, it's not going to be great.
Yeah, and it looks like the Stars have really been trying to, give Hudobin a lot of preseason games, maybe in hopes that someone who's really desperate for a goaltender will give him a call and say, hey, we'll take him off your hands and everything. But does it seem that way to you guys? Because it looks like Dobby's getting a lot of preseason action.
Yeah, but he's not helping us.
Yeah.
He hasn't been great.
I think that was definitely the hope, was that he was going to play and he was going to play well. And he has not played well, in my opinion.
He really hasn't. So, but
It's very sad.
Yeah. So, maybe something happens tomorrow morning at like 6 a.m. when we're all asleep, and and the Stars decide to release something, and let everybody wake up and freak out and everything. So, but we'll see.
So let me ask y'all: if we were to give up Jason Robertson, he gets traded. We're not signing him. What would it take?
I don't even want to think about that.
What would it take?
We can't take players now. So do we take draft picks for Jason Robertson?
I think
absolutely
if something
not.
like this happens, you're trading away Jason Robertson, and probably you're sending cap that you don't want with it as well. So maybe that means Dobby. Could mean Foxa. Maybe we like Foxa. I don't know where.
I think
the thing is on that.
If we're trading away Robertson, we would just trade away Dobby. I think we would keep Foxa.
I think that's true. But I'm thinking you get one top 6 guy, maybe a top 3 guy if they have one, and then a draft pick or a prospect. So I think it's 3 the other direction for Robertson, assuming that he signs, of course.
Would you want a forward in return for him, or would you rather have a defenseman?
Yeah, that's a good question. You could do defenseman, but it would be. I think I'm saying it's 2 skaters and then a sweetener is what I'm saying.
I think it would have to at the very least be like a top 2 defenseman or a top 6 forward, like one or the other, and a first round draft pick at the very least. Very least. And like if we're talking like, I don't know, Buffalo, I want Rasmus Dahlin. That's who I want. And a first round pick in return for Jason Robertson. So I don't know. But that's what I would expect from like Buffalo or something like that.
Here's another good question. Let's say we're not doing the trade and we are going to sign Robertson. Ardell says, "Are you going over $10 million a year?"
Yeah,
I am. If we can drop cap, the problem really is just like how do we get that cap space right now? So
I'm not going over $10 million a year, honestly. I mean, for the amount that he's played, he's had 2 good years. One of them was a half year. That's not enough for a $10 million contract, in my opinion. I think you give him 3 and you give him as little as he'll take. It's looking like 9.5.
The thing is I don't think he's taking 9 or 9.5.
Even for a 3-year bridge, yeah, he will.
I don't know.
I mean, that's crazy.
I mean, this man. I don't want to talk about this anymore.
I know. I hate
saying he's worth
talking about this.
He's $1 million more than Barzell. No.
Barzell scored 17 goals.
Barzell is a solidified top 6 forward in the NHL who's done it for multiple years.
And Robertson's not?
No, he's had one
yes,
good
he
full year.
Is.
He's had one good full year.
No, he's had 2 really good years.
He did not have a full first. That first year was not a full year.
Okay, but you can't blame him for that because
I'm not blaming him. I'm looking at the facts. The facts are he's had 1.5 good years. That's great. It's not worth $10 million. That's a fact. Not blaming him for anything. I'm just not going to pay him for stuff that I haven't seen.
Yeah, and this is, again, we'll go back to it. Brooke, the problem is he didn't produce in the playoffs. That's the only thing I have going against him right now.
One series, 7 games to look at if he's going to win you playoff games. You're not paying $10 million for that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, but
what you're talking about, you're holding on to Ben and Sagan's contracts right now too.
That's decent. But the thing is, you can't really look at the numbers per se when it comes to that. You have to really look at the percentage, because it would take too long to explain it. But like you really have to look at the percentage of the cap and how much is that percentage of the cap is he worth, and if that number is $10 million, that's the important thing, is the percentage of the cap that he's worth, not necessarily the dollar amount.
What's that, 14%?
I don't know, but it's a lot.
That's nuts.
Well, I hate talking about this. Let's just move on, because I'm so tired of this. I'm just ready to have him signed. I'm still standing behind my my prediction that he's going to be signed before the first game of the season. So first game of the season is what? The 13th. So a week from tomorrow. Tomorrow. I think he will be signed by then. I have no idea what it will be, but hopefully he'll just sign it.
It'll be a month into the season on a random Tuesday.
Tuesday. I'm holding that to you. The Tuesday.
I'll take it.
Watch it be next week on Tuesday.
That would be hilarious.
Okay. All right. So, other Stars stuff. The Stars released their Blackout Jersey schedule, so that's going to be continuing along this year. Y'all still fans of the Blackout Jersey?
I like the Blackout Jersey. Yeah. Our color scheme is based upon the Blackout Jersey. I think it's cool that we finally have a third jersey. I'm happy about it. Even if it's not super creative, it's cool. And it uses the logo I like.
I think it's hilarious because a lot of people don't like the skyline green that the Stars have, but everyone in Dallas likes the skyline green, so they can all go suck it.
Well, no, Steve Dangle was making fun of him, calling them the Tron jerseys, and then as the season goes on, as the season went on, he was like, "I think the Tron jerseys are growing on me," and yeah, they are. They're cool. Tron.
Well, the Stars are going to be wearing it 12 times, which is, that's a lot for a third jersey, to be honest with you. And you also
last year too, though.
Yeah, but you also have to remember that the reverse retro jerseys are still coming out. They still haven't released those for some reason. So the Stars are going to be wearing whatever the reverse retro jersey is. Like, I think it's like 3 or 4 times at the very least. So I'm excited to see this Blackout jersey return for this season. Just thought it was notable because I really like the jersey. So I still need to get a name on the back of my jersey because it's still blank. Whose name should I get?
Chambers.
Robertson. And then he gets traded to Buffalo. Wouldn't that be something?
Volatile.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right. I want to get into a couple of articles that Mike Heika put up. He has actually been on a writing frenzy this past couple of weeks.
Yeah. Man got bored over this summer.
I know. It's almost like he has something to talk about right now or something. So
crazy.
Anyway, he had 2 articles that I kind of want to just highlight a little bit. The first one was Need for Speed, Stars progressing on offense, but there's work to be done. And and I'll say it again, the word that I continued to say for the past 2 years while we've been doing this podcast is the word consistency. And that's the exact word that Pete DeBoer wants to see more out of this team. Agree? Disagree? What do y'all think?
That word haunts my nightmares.
Consistency just across the forehead.
Last year, it was consistency between periods, which was nuts. But yeah, I guess we'll see what he means by consistency.
Well, for one thing, if I may mention something about all the preseason games that we've had so far, we've outshot our opponent in every single preseason game so far. That includes a 4-0 loss. We still outshot our opponent. So there's definitely a type of look he's going for, and right now it looks like it's shots.
And as far as I've seen in the offensive zone, I have seen much more consistency. There's the buzzword amongst our cycle game. So we're really getting a cycle going in the offensive zone and not just passing back and forth, standing still. It's really moving your body and moving the puck at the same time and confusing defenses and getting open shots instead of just taking pot shots from the blue line and hoping they go in.
And we also have to remember that it is going to take some time to get the system going a little bit. So I can fully, I hate to say it, but I'm just going to say it. I fully expect this team to kind of sort of struggle out of the gate. So, I mean, if we're at 500 within the first couple of weeks of the season, I'm not too worried because.
Well, I'm happy if we're at 500.
Yep. But this is just a quote from the article that Pete DeBoer said of just about his plan and how he likes to play hockey. I think there definitely were moments where we incorporated it and it looked good and it led to offense. But there's still moments where we get stuck and slowing it down. Where we are getting stuck and slowing it down, sorry. And we just have to break some habits. So what's some of the habits he's talking about?
Can you imagine Rick Bowness ever saying something like that?
No, he would never.
We're going a little too slow. We need to speed things up. Not ever going to happen. I love this guy already. I love Peter. He's the best. So yeah, the habit is slow it down, chip it in, take a shot from the blue line. That's the habit he's talking about that he's trying to break. So that's good.
Well, and it's also going to take some hard work to continue the system. Again, here's Pete DeBoer, but Peter. For me, we still have to play faster in all three zones. That's something we would have never heard Rick Bowness say. Breaking out through the neutral zone and in the offensive zone, we still get stuck too much. So we're just working on playing quicker.
Yeah, and he also kind of in I don't remember if that article or if it was another article, but he kind of explained what he means by quicker. He doesn't just mean, oh, I want people to skate faster. He means like decision making. Like make up your mind and do it quickly. Like don't rush, but be quick. So that's what I really like about that. He's really defining his terms very well for this team. I've enjoyed it.
Well, I don't know why this popped into my head, but especially with the past couple of years, when you're talking about making decisions, Chris, every time I think about making quick decisions, I always think about baseball and the ability of a hitter to actually hit a ball that is flying 90 miles an hour coming towards him. So, I mean, I've seen documentaries about the science behind it and how quick they have to think and how quick they have to react and stuff like that. That's the kind of thing that I would like to see the Stars do in every decision-making process that they have, whether it's in the defensive zone, the neutral zone, or in the offensive zone. So I'm 100% with you right there, Chris. Hopefully they just make quicker decisions. Let me see. This is a part of the article that's straight from Mike Heika, but it's just talking about chemistry a little bit. Chemistry is going to be huge, but it has to be with more than just your line mates. DeBoer said he is looking at lines right now, but that's tough when Jason Robertson isn't in camp yet. The restricted free agent, yada, 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 yada. We're not going to get into that. If he's not in camp on opening night, DeBoer said the economics will change how the team can use its forward depth. So even though this article is talking about the ability of Pete DeBoer to take this team and implement his system, Jason Robertson changes everything if he's signed or if he's not signed. So that just goes to show you how much of a huge catalyst he is for this team.
And that's why we were trying to avoid, and we're still trying to avoid, making our starting lineup predictions for the first game, because we want to think that Jason Robertson is in there. But come next week, podcast time again, and if Jason Robertson isn't signed, we're looking at the very real possibility that we are fielding a team minus Jason Robertson and minus $8 million worth of talent. That's kind of a big hill to climb.
Well, and the other thing is, and we'll kind of talk about it in the next Heika article, but he goes through and he talks about, if Robertson is signed, then that may, it may not give him the ability, him meaning DeBoer, to carry a full 23-man roster, right? So they may only be able to carry 22 people or whatever. But just to kind of finish up this article, we kind of talked about the growing pains a little bit, and this is just DeBoer's reflection back on his other teams he's coached. Before your group is moving seamlessly without thinking about it, I don't know the answer to that, but it's not game 1 and it might not be game 10. I think in my history of coming into new programs, it's probably Thanksgiving where you start to feel like we're getting this, and it becomes second nature. But this is a smart group, and maybe they'll pick it up quicker. So he's at least admitting that this team seems more able to adjust to his system than maybe other teams in the past. But it looks like Thanksgiving is into November-ish is where we start to look at, okay, is this team really going to be able to figure it out? Or are they a playoff team? Is that fair?
Yeah, I think that's definitely fair. That's I think it's true of every team, though, even if it's not a coaching change. When you're about 2 months in, you can kind of tell when people are buying in, when people really are committed to the goals of the team, whatever they are. But I think this team definitely is more likely to follow his system easier, just because we have so many offensive guys who have been kind of stifling their style for the past 3 years. So I think they're ready for a change there, especially with the comments that Klingberg made. There's no way just Klingberg feels that way. There's most likely other people who felt very similarly and are ready to get going with a different style of play.
Well, did you see Foxa? Foxa, the most defensive forward on the team, came out and basically said the same thing, that he felt that it was really he wants to contribute more offensively, and he felt that the system last year was kind of stifling that. And that's Foxa.
And if you look at Fox's point totals too, it's very obvious. He was still totaling like 20 points in a season, and when Bonus took over, he never made it back up to 20. Not even close. So
yeah, I'm sure he was not happy to be made the center of the checking line. He's like, "Oh, I don't get to score ever. Cool. Give me more of that." That's what
we all know. We all know Foxa hates scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody hates scoring, right? Nobody likes to score. Okay, let's talk about the lineup here tonight while the Stars are playing. I'm not even sure if the game's over. It's probably over at this time.
It's not over. It's got 8 minutes left.
8 minutes left. What's the score?
1-0 us.
Oh, who scored?
Damiani.
Oh,
it's a rush play. Nice little flick to the middle of the ice.
Very nice. Okay.
We've had a lot of chances that haven't been buried.
So the lineup for tonight and what it looks like. Oh, that's the projected lineup. Let me actually find it on Twitter here somewhere. Go to Matt DeFrank's page or something. The reason why I wanted to mention it is because this kind of goes into our next topic about just preseason and who's going to make the lineup for the Stars coming up.
I have it pulled up here. The first line is Peterson, Sagan, and Stanky. The next one is Olofsson, Foxa, Gurianov. Next one, Kiviranta, Damiani, Glendening. The last line is Karlstrom, Back, and Bork. And then for your defensive pairs, we got Lindell, Lundqvist, Harley Miller, Shea, and Hanley. Wedgwood played the first 2 periods. Hudobin is in the third.
And it looks like the power play units for tonight: Foxa, Sagan, Stankoven, Damiani, and Harley. That's not too bad. And then you got Peterson, Lundqvist, Bork, Gurianov, and Miller. That's also not too bad.
Power plays haven't done anything. The penalty kills haven't allowed a goal on 5, but man, have they looked rough. The Avs have had so many chances and just whiff on all of them. Another big talking point of this game, Gurianov looks fantastic. He's just all over the ice, offensively and defensively, by the way. His back checking is very good with his great skating. And he's just looked really good all preseason long, pretty much. I mean, he seems to be reinvigorated, is my SAT word of the day. And I'm excited for it, especially with what we've seen him in the top line talks. I mean, I'm excited to see what Gurianov can do with his last chance contract that he's got going on. Last I checked, he had 6 shots on goal. Let me see what he has right now. Yeah, he has 7 shots on goal now.
Wow.
So
Good for him. I mean, I'm really rooting for the guy this year.
he's shooting.
Okay, so what I wanted to get into is the remaining pieces on the roster
Get into it.
and kind of look at who you think is going to make the team and what the lines may look like. Okay, so right now there are 17 forwards still on the training camp roster. There's 10 defensemen and 3 goalies. The goalies are easy. We're not even going to talk about those. But talking about the forwards, here's who we still have remaining. We have Back, Ben, Bork, Damiani, Foxa, Glendening, Garyanov, Hintz, Johnston, Karlstrom, Kiviranta, Marchment, Olofsson, Pavelski, Peterson, Sagan, and Stankoven.
Wait, what was that? Did you say that again? All of them?
I'm not saying them again. You can figure it out.
Oh,
But I hate you, Chris. Anyways, getting into this, I would assume that probably, 13 forwards are going to make the team. So maybe 12, depending on Robertson. Let's assume Robertson is not in the mixture on this, okay, for this exercise, all right? Out of those 17 guys, 4 have to be cut. All right. So who are the 4 that are going to be cut from the team?
I don't have the list in front of me. Back is cut. There's one.
Yeah.
Okay. There's Ben. There's
Karlstrom,
Bork.
I think, is cut.
Yeah, definitely
Karlstrom.
Ben's gonna get cut. Why would you even say that, Ryan? So stupid. Okay. Karlstrom's probably cut too. Let's say Back and Karlstrom are pretty good locked in. Let's say Bork's probably getting cut. And then
So then you're down to, I guess you could say
Olofsson.
Olofsson. Yeah.
Boom. 4. Done.
There's 4.
We did it.
Didn't you include Ben in your 4, Chris?
Yep. I mean, Ryan said Ben was an option, so I might as well pick it.
I was just naming all the forwards, you idiot.
Why would you name all of the forwards, Ryan?
Because.
That's silly. That was a silly thing to do.
Okay. So, all right. So what do the lines look like to you then?
Okay. No Robertson. I think
No
the
Robertson.
first line is going to be that Hintz, Gurry, Marchment line that we saw. That looks really fun. That looks fun. That's all I'm going to say about that. Agree?
Agree,
Yes.
100%.
That's what I think.
They've constantly been playing together.
Okay. Next is going to be Joe Pavelski, Tyler Sagan, and then if one of the younglings is up, I'm putting one of the younglings in there. So either Johnston or Stanky, but Stanky is almost definitely not going to be there.
I think Ben probably plays there.
If not, Ben is the obvious choice.
I mean, he still had 50 points on the season, so yes, that's what I would go with for my second line.
Are we happy or are we sad, Ryan? What are we doing? I mean, you're just looking down at your little crackers like you're sad.
Why is it gotta be crackers, huh?
It's always crackers.
It could be actually like my peanut butter wafers. So,
nutty buddy.
But I really think Johnson's gonna be on that second line.
Okay, well, I said that. You should say I agree with your first statement, Chris. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. On to the third line. I think we're gonna have I don't know.
Okay,
you almost made it, Chris.
I guess
there.
I guess James, it's our turn to figure it out because Chris figured out the first 2 lines, so we'll help him out here.
Well, I'm gonna throw Foxa as the center on the third line.
Boom, okay, Foxa.
Delandria. Is he going to be back for opening night?
No, he's not.
He's out for 5 weeks.
Okay. well, then I'll go someone else. I'll go Petey. Peterson's probably on that third line, I think.
Peterson. Oof.
Yeah. You don't think Peterson's going to make the roster?
I think he will.
Oh, I think he's
great.
100. He's not a 100% lock in, but I definitely think he's probable.
I think he makes the roster. And then so a third one for that line. I'll throw Johnston on the third line then, I guess.
I thought we had Johnston on the second line.
Well, I have Ben on the second line.
Oh.
So it's Ben or Johnston right there. If Ben isn't on the second line, he'll be on the third line because he's not going to be on the fourth line.
But if Ben is on the third line, I think Roddick Fox is on the fourth line. Because I think Ben's the center on the third line if he's on the third line.
No, they'll
probably just go ahead.
They've already talked about Ben's a left winger. He has not been playing center at training camp or in preseason. Okay. He will be used. I mean, he will still take faceoffs because he's good at taking faceoffs. But I think he's going to be primarily used as a left winger.
Okay, then we'll put Ben there. That's fine.
Okay. And then third line, I'm gonna have Glenn Denning probably as the faceoff person. Fourth line faceoff, good. Yes.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Who else do we want?
Who else exists on our team? Do we got anybody else?
Well, I mean.
You've got Damiani.
With us not having Robertson or Dellandrea on this list, Damiani probably makes the opening roster. I think.
I think so too.
I don't think he's necessarily the best choice, but he's definitely the safest choice out of all of them. He has the most experience in the league. And if he's playing on a fourth line, he's not gonna fall behind. I don't think.
Well, and
Fair
the thing
about yes, no.
Yeah, I agree with James. I like that statement.
Well, and the thing is that DeBoer likes to roll four lines, unlike Rick Bowness. Or Rick Bowness would heavily rely on the first three. So,
if we're missing $8 million and we're missing Jason Robertson and we're missing Dellandrea, then I don't know if we're gonna be able to run four lines. But we'll sure as heck try.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
And then
put the AHL line out there. Let's go.
So my third one for that line would probably be Bork. I kind of want to see Bork on that fourth line.
That would be cool.
Bork.
All right. What do y'all see in defensemen? Obviously, Miro Heiskanen's on the third pairing, right?
Nah, I was thinking he's on the bubble. Okay, yeah, so, Miro's on the first.
I guess the question is Lundqvist going to be playing with Heiskanen on the opening night roster?
To start.
Probably not.
You really don't think so?
I really don't think so.
Unless Lundqvist is playing a lot better overall before opening night, I don't see it.
I think you make your best D pairs so you can put them against the other team's best forwards. And you put Heiskanen and Lindell together and you say, hey, go stop them. And they say, okay, I'll stop them. And then you put Lundqvist at the same time and Hakanpää on the second pairing.
Yes. Well, then you got two. Well, they're both the same handed. Are they both left or both right?
They're both right. I think.
Guess what?
So I don't think that would happen. No.
Chris
Maybe not. Care. Who cares? I don't care.
Here's what I think.
Suter Hakanpää. I think that Suter and Hakanpää, whether they're the second, whether they're dang it, whether they are the second or third pair, I think that Suter and Hakanpää will probably end up playing a lot of the season together.
I guess that's fair to say, but what I think will happen is the most likely thing is that Lindell will end up playing with Heiskanen, and Heiskanen will play on his offside, which really sucks. What I really would like to see is I would like to see Lundqvist get that shot because he's actually had a really good preseason training camp and all that sort of stuff.
So, I would say really good, but it's been
good.
Fine. He's been better than our other right-hand defenseman prospects.
Offensively, he's been good. I liked him on the wall last game on the power play. That was neat.
Yeah, and I mean, we're also forgetting about Harley a little bit as well.
Yeah,
Harley,
I was about to say Harley or Miller because Harley kind of sucked.
Yeah, I'm going with Miller.
It looks
he hasn't sucked, but he hasn't done anything.
He hasn't played well. Honestly.
He hasn't played well enough to make the roster. It doesn't look like, and it looks like he may. And some people are already saying, "Oh, well, he's a bust." And I'm like, dude, the guy's like 22, right? Or
I thought he was a
23.
bust last year.
He's not a bust. He's not
He's
a
a
bust at
bust.
all. It just may take him longer than other players.
It's
So,
okay, honey.
Not
We
everybody
don't
can
all
be a
sprout
Heiskanen.
at the same time.
All
He's
right.
21.
See, he's not even. He's young. He's very young, so he's gonna be fine. It may just take a couple of years.
But also with him not making the roster again this year, it almost definitely means that he's not going to be a top 2 defenseman.
I
He's not
disagree
going
with
to
that.
get there in the league.
I
really
disagree
don't
with
think he's
that.
going to.
He's just going to make a drastic leap.
Well, I think that I think he will still be able to be a top 2 defenseman. Maybe not necessarily top 2, but definitely top 4 for sure. But really, what I'd like to see is Heiskanen and Lundqvist. I'd like to see Lindell and Hakanpää play together, and that'd be like the quote unquote shutdown pair. That would be really cool. And then heck, why not throw Suter and Miller on that third pairing? That'd be cool.
Get the olds in there.
Yeah,
Suter's going to make the roster no matter what.
Yeah, he's got.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen, but I think he's best suited on the third pairing.
Suited.
I didn't even mean to do that. Oh my gosh!
All right, who cares?
Yeah.
All right, the who cares?
No, literally, who cares? Right.
Was greatly inspired by James a couple months ago when we came up with all these ideas. He just brought this one out of the blue. The who cares segment tonight is going to be numbers. The top 3 numbers for each man on the show. So Ryan, give me your third number, please.
Third number. That's a little ironic. I got to go with number 27, and there is a specific reason why I go with 27.
Give us the reason.
That's 3 times 9 is 27.
No, that's a good guess though. But
that's true though. He's right.
He is right. That is a fact.
That's a fact.
In 1999, when the Dallas Stars won the Stanley Cup, there is a player by the name of Sean Chambers, and he won the Stanley Cup, and his number was 27. So, therefore, my third number
will be hanging in the rafters.
27. Sean Chambers.
All right, James, third number, please.
I'm gonna go with the number 9. Mike Modano, number 9.
Paul Correa.
Good.
Oh, Mike Modano. Okay.
And also, I used the number 9 in Little League Baseball. That's the other reason.
That's good.
Number 9. That's my third number.
9. Chris, third number. My third number is number 72. The reason I like number 72 is because I just like where it sits on like a number line between 0 and 100. I just feel like it's in a good spot there.
Okay.
Ryan, second number. All right, second number. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, that was the dumbest explanation you've ever had. I'm down between 2. Okay, I'll go with number 9 as well. It's got to be Mr. Mikey Mo. And there have been a lot of other players over the years that I've really liked to watch. Like I mentioned, Paul Correa was one of them. But there's many players that have worn the number 9 that have been very, very good over the years. So my second number 2 number is number 9.
All right, number 9. James, second number, please.
Okay, my second number is number 10. It is number 10 because there was one year in Little League Baseball where someone stole the number 9 from me. So I chose the number 10. And then I used 10 for the rest of the time. So that is my second number.
Nice.
Number 10.
All right. My second number is number 69. Ryan, number 1.
Okay, Ryan, what's your number
Ryan,
1?
number 1.
Your number 1 number.
Okay. My number 1 number has to be number 99. It has to be for 2 reasons. Obviously, Mr. Wayne Gretzky, but obviously the other thing is the significance in history with the number in 1999. The Stars win their first and only right now Stanley Cup. So 99 is my favorite number. James, number 1.
First number, please.
My number 1 number is the number 4. because I'm the fourth child. The fourth.
Hot loser.
Hot dead middle.
So number 4. Also, it's such a great number. It's even, and it's a little even number. And if you turn it upside down, it's a chair.
It is a chair. That's another fact. James is spitting the facts today.
Oh man, we're tired.
Right. What do you
My
mean?
I
had to think hard about that one.
My first number is number 2. It is number 2 because I wore number 2 in baseball, like James said. And I played second base in baseball. And the number 2 is just a cool looking number. The perfect combination of curves and lines and angles. I mean, the top, you got a little squiggly curvy dude, little squiggly curve. Then it's straight, bam, straight. Then it's got a sharp angle, a cute angle is what we call them. And then it's got another straight line. It's great. It's wonderful. It's perfectly, you can't ever accidentally make a 2 incorrectly. No matter how bad your handwriting is, everyone knows it's a 2. So number 2 is objectively the best number. That was the Who Cares segment. And that was the podcast.
Well, hold on. Do you do the number 2 like the regular way where you just like draw the line underneath it, or do you do that little weird curly Q thing like I do?
Who?
You know what I'm talking about? You never seen like
I
a
do
number?
it that way too, Chris.
See,
what?
ha! You don't know what I'm talking about?
You draw a 2 and you go whoosh. You curl it back around instead of going straight back.
Are y'all French?
No, it's just easier to draw a 2 that way.
That's disgusting. You should
That's how I
feel
draw all my
ashamed.
2s.
That's disgusting.
It's not disgusting.
That's disgusting.
It's not.
Also, in bad news, we just lost the preseason game. They scored 2 goals in the last 10 minutes, so
yeah, that's fine. Who cares?
And who was in net, everybody? And the congregation says, "Who Dobin?"
Dobby!
Yay!
Oh, we're never getting rid of him. Okay,
Dang,
thank you.
forever.
They played well, though.
So maybe with Ottinger it'll be better. Okay. All right, guys. That's the podcast for tonight. We thank you guys for spending your late Wednesday evening with us, or your early Thursday, or whenever you're listening to this. But please go and check out our merch store, StarcasticRemarksShop.com. That's the best way you can support this podcast.
We got cups.
And yeah, we do have cups. That's true, but not the Stanley Cups. So we're working on that, though.
Working on it.
We need the
top
stores
priority.
And then
we got DraftKings.
Yeah, we got DraftKings. Yeah, we appreciate
Those
them being
guys.
our sponsor.
What's that promo code? THPN. That's the promo code.
THPN. Good job, Chris. I'm proud of you.
And then we got a new one, Raycon. And guess what? Guess what that promo code is? Exact same thing as THPN. You guessed it.
No,
same
you would be
promo
wrong.
code, 2 websites. Boom.
Nope, you're wrong. THPN 15.
They changed it?
Yeah, they changed it. It's THPN 15.
It was perfect.
He's so
That's
devastated.
unbelievable.
Okay, guys. Anyways, along with
Raycon.
Chris.
Wait.
What?
Stars just tweeted. Go look
No,
at Twitter real quick.
don't you
Go
do
look
this
at
to me.
Twitter.
Don't
Go
you
look at
do this
Twitter.
to me, James.
This is
Go
live.
I
look at
swear.
Twitter.
This is live.
Don't you freaking do this to me.
Go look at Twitter.
Oh, live on the podcast.
Are you?
Jason
No.
Robertson
You're
signed.
Are you
4
freaking
years,
bull crapping me?
7.75 mil. We moved nobody. Trade nobody. Jason Robertson is signed for 4 years.
There's
Bull
no
crap.
way they pulled
Live
that
on the
off.
podcast. 24 seconds ago.
Oh my gosh.
Woohoo!
Woo! Okay.
I told
I feel
y'all.
so much better.
Oh my.
Chris, it's not Tuesday.
It's not Tuesday. What the heck?
It's not Tuesday.
All right. Okay.
You lied
Okay, we
to
can't
me.
end it. We
New
can't end it. We
segment.
have
Longest sarcastic remarks in history.
Oh,
Okay.
We're just about to close out
dang
too.
it.
Okay.
Oh,
So I said earlier before preseason started, actually, no, yeah, we need to go back. We need to change our tweet. Someone on the chat said Kevin Weeks was right. Sorry, Kevin Weeks. We apologize. You are our overlord and our savior, and we love you. How does this happen at 11:30? Why is
They
Jim Neal
they
up at
waited-
11:30?
They
He's an
waited
old
for the
man.
They released
freaking
it-
game to end.
Yes,
That's what
they
they did. They
waited for the
waited
game
for the
to
game
end.
to end.
Oh,
Freaking
that makes
crap.
sense. That makes
Dang
sense.
it. Gave me anxiety
them.
all day for this and just had to wait for 30 minutes.
That's
Freaking
cool.
Kevin Weeks. It's like he
Okay.
knew it was going to be like 30 minutes before the end of the day.
Okay, trying to finish my point. Before
Sorry.
preseason started, I said if Robertson isn't signed before the start of the season, then it's a failure by Jim Neal. I said that. He is signed before the start of the season, and it's an amazing deal. 4 years, 7.75. That's perfect.
That's incredible.
So, but here's what it does: is it takes him to the end of his RFA. So he's saying, when I'm done, I want all the power. So we said, okay, fine. If you're done and you're actually worth that much, we'll pay you that much. So he got leverage with the term there, but 7.75 is fantastic. That's incredible. So all the rumors of he doesn't want to be here, not true. He signed for 7.75.
Yeah,
he wants to be
That's
here.
not
He wants to
true.
play on the team for the start of the season. That's an incredible deal. Good job, Jim Neal. A+.
Seriously. I mean, the fact that he got it under $8 million is absolutely insane. Absolutely
especially
unreal.
with how the offseason is gone. Like, that's crazy.
We had a good offseason too, and getting Lundqvist at the end, and you signed Robertson without moving anybody. That's great.
So Dobby's going nowhere, I guess. I guess he's headed to the
He's
AHL.
going nowhere. Well, honestly, you think about it, if someone needs a goalie throughout the year,
There he is.
that's an option, and that's can free up some space for you to make another move at the deadline, like you want to do probably when we're on the bubble. So, great job, Jim Neal. Good offseason. It wasn't the offseason he wanted, but it was very good.
Well, and I mean, we have to give him credit. You have to give him credit because he stuck to his guns. He said, we're not giving you the $10 million or whatever it was rumored he was looking for."
I think that's all bullcrap.
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure. I think they finally convinced him just to, hey, this is what you're getting. Take it or leave it, and that's it. And I mean, that's literally as much as they could probably give him. Like, I don't even think they could give him $8 million at this point if they wanted to construct the roster they wanted to.
Well, that just threw out like half our segments in this show. So
yeah, we just wasted our time. Oh my goodness.
Well, we'll just throw this at like the beginning of the show, and then we'll do the little intro, and then the rest of the episode.
But this is a great reaction now. We can put this reaction on TikTok. Boom, blow up.
Oh man, oh my goodness. I cannot believe he did that.
Somebody clip that live on the podcast. Thank you for checking Twitter before we ended, James. Have you done that for the past like 3 weeks?
Welcome. I've been checking Twitter 24/7.
No, all day.
Every time the Stars tweet, I stop what I'm doing and check what the tweet is. I'm not kidding.
Do you have them belled on Twitter?
Yes.
Yes.
Every single tweet of theirs is belled. Every time they tweet.
That's great.
I'm telling you, like today, I was in the middle of my every single one of my classes today, in the middle of a saxophone class. I was out on the field with the high school marching band, 134 kids, and I was sitting there checking my phone to make sure I wasn't going to miss any. It was ridiculous. I was fully expecting it to happen earlier today.
Well, no one has to be scared now. We're fine. What anxiety? We're going to make the playoffs now.
We're going to the Stanley Cup.
Tame those expectations, boys.
All right. Here's another good point on Twitter from our good friends Blackout Dallas. Ryan, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Check out his stories over there. But this deal also gives us room to sign Rope and Otter to the extensions that they need when they come up, when that cap jumps up. That's, what are we thinking? $5 to $8 million in the next 2 years at a minimum? Plenty of room.
It's going to take 3 years. It's going to take 3 years for the cap to really skyrocket. But yes, about that time, that's when actually didn't Otter take a 4-year deal too?
Took a 3.
He took a 3. So pretty close to about that time. And actually that's kind of nice to where, you're not getting Otter and Robo at the same time needing new contracts. So that's important. Thank the Lord goodness. Oh, I was so scared.
Okay.
That
I'm tired now.
that might be the best RFA signing of the offseason, like in the NHL. 90 points for 7.75.
Mm-hmm.
That's really good. That's
And
nice.
I mean, even Kevin Weeks himself was saying that he can't see Jason Robertson signing for less than 8.4. You remember that tweet?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm coming at you again, Kevin Weeks, you idiot.
Can you imagine? He had to have known that was going to happen right after the game tonight. He had to have known. So he just sits on it all day, and lets us sit in anguish and anxiety. And he knows that it's going to be signed. And it's just like, freaking gosh dang it. Okay. I'm relieved now. I can go to bed a happy man.
I feel like my shoulders just like dropped like 2
I know, right? I don't even know how to end this now. How do we end this? Do we just say see you later?
See y'all on TikTok when we've gone viral.
Right,
we're all gonna have the best sleeps of our lives.
Yeah,
best sleeps.
I mean, best sleeps. I'm about to fall asleep right now.
Huh?
Like literally, him signing has completely negated everything we talked about.
Not everything.
The lineup.
Well, at least we'll have something to talk about next week.
Yeah, next week
true.
Next week we can do a true season preview. It's gonna be great. Yeah, next week we didn't tease it. Season preview podcast. Sarcastic remarks. Season 2. True season 3. Is that season 3? 4?
Something like that. I don't even know what season we're on.
I think we're on 3. Season 3.
Okay.
True episode 1. It's gonna be fantastic.
Let's end it before we get any crazier. Okay. Thanks to DraftKings again. Use promo code THPN. All that jazz. Go check us out on Raycon. Yeah. Sarcasticremarkshop.com. What else? Leave us a 5-star review if you can. We'd really appreciate it. I'm gonna clip this reaction and put it on YouTube later.
Check out our new TikTok account that's coming out this evening because of this clip. We had a great clip,
Exactly. All right, guys. Along with Chris and along with James, my name's Ryan. We'll catch you on the flip side. Jason Robertson has re-signed, ladies and gentlemen. Thank goodness. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Have a fantastic evening, morning, whenever you're listening. See you later.